All right, so when you're buying a home, you get hit with a ton of decisions, but one of the biggest is the interest rate. And, we're all wired to think the lowest number has got to be the best deal, right? But what if I told you that simple choice could actually be a really costly trap? Well, today, we're going to do the mortgage math and find out for sure. So let's kick things off with a real-world scenario. We've got a home buyer. They're looking at a brand new construction home, and the builder's lender comes to them with three different interest rate options. Now, the choice seems simple, but it's really not. I want you to put yourself in their shoes for a second. The house is $364,000, and your lender gives you three choices. Just look at these rates. Which one does your gut tell you to pick? Okay, here they are, 6.25%, an even 6%, and 5.75%. For pretty much everyone, the answer is instant. You grab the lowest number, the 5.75%. I mean, it just feels cheaper. And over a 30-year loan, that's got to save you a ton of money, right? This right here is exactly where we need to pump the brakes. That impulse, that knee-jerk reaction to grab the lowest rate without really understanding what it costs you up front, well, that can be a huge financial mistake. Let's actually dig into the numbers. So here's the thing that a lot of people don't realize. A lower interest rate doesn't just magically show up. Nope, you have to pay for it. In the mortgage world, this is called paying points. It's basically prepaid interest that you fork over at closing to get that lower rate. And this one little detail, it changes the entire calculation. Okay, so let's put the highest rate right next to the lowest rate. With option 3, the 5.75%, your monthly payment is about $111 lower than option 1. Sounds amazing. But look at the catch. The cash you need to bring to the closing table, it jumps from around $26,000 to almost $32,000. And that is the real cost. To save $111 a month, you have to pay an extra $5,500 on day one. You're literally buying down your interest rate. So the real question becomes, is that a smart investment? Now, to answer that, we don't need some super complex financial model. All we need is a simple but really powerful piece of math called the break-even calculation. This is going to tell us exactly how long it takes for your monthly savings to pay back that upfront cost. And look, the math here is surprisingly simple. Seriously. You just take that extra upfront cost, that $5,500, and you divide it by the money you're saving each month, which is $111. That's it. That's the entire formula. And the answer is 50 months. 50. That's more than 4 years. It's going to take you over 4 years of making mortgage payments just to earn back the extra cash you spent at closing. Until you hit that 50th month, you are technically losing money on this decision. Now, let's put this into context. In today's market, a lot of experts think rates are going to drop. That means most new homeowners will probably refinance within, say, 12 to 24 months. But your break-even point is way, way out there at 50 months. You'll almost certainly refinance long before you ever get that upfront money back. This quote from the analysis just sums it up perfectly. If you refinance in 2 years to get an even better rate, that $5,500 you paid up front, it's just gone. Poof. You basically flushed it down the toilet. You paid for a discount you didn't even keep long enough to benefit from. So if paying for the lowest rate is a trap, what's the smarter move? Well, the answer comes down to a classic financial principle, understanding the power of having cash on hand, especially when you're a new homeowner. And I know what you might be thinking. What about that middle option, the 6% rate? Its break-even is about 2.5 years, which is definitely safer, but it still means paying extra up front, and honestly, there's an even smarter strategy. And that strategy is to take the highest rate. I know, it sounds crazy, but it's because in this situation, having cash in your pocket is way more valuable than a slightly lower monthly payment. Why? Well, think about it. When you move into a new house, unexpected costs are pretty much guaranteed. You're going to need blinds, maybe a fence, all sorts of things pop up. That extra $5,500 is so much better as an emergency fund, or shoot, just sitting in a high-yield savings account earning you interest, instead of being locked away in your mortgage. Now, some of you are probably thinking, hang on, the builder is offering an $11,000 credit. Doesn't that cover all these costs? This is a really crucial piece of the puzzle, and it's where things get interesting. So even if you take the highest rate option, the one with the lowest upfront cost, the lender is still charging a staggering $7,780 in fees. And that number is often buried deep, deep in the paperwork. So that big builder's credit isn't really going into your pocket. A huge chunk of it is immediately handed over to their preferred lender to cover these bloated fees. It's a total shell game. And since you have to use their lender to get the credit in the first place, you're pretty much locked into their game.
Okay, so we've looked at the hidden costs, we've done the break-even math, and we've uncovered the shell game with the credits. Let's put it all together and land on a clear, final verdict for our homebuyer.
When you see it all laid out like this, the right choice becomes crystal clear. Option 3, the one with the lowest rate, has that crazy 50-month break-even. Option 2 is better at 30 months, but option 1, its break-even is immediate, 0, because you didn't pay any extra money for it. You start ahead from day 1. So, what's the big takeaway here? The strategic advice is actually pretty simple, but it's super powerful. Number 1, take the highest rate, that option 1. Number 2, keep that extra cash, that $5,000 in your bank account for whatever life throws at you. And number 3, just deal with the slightly higher payment for now, because the plan is to refinance in about a year, maybe 18 months, when rates will hopefully be a lot better. And that brings us to the one single question you should always ask before